Hey, what's up everyone? It's Coach Matt over here, Primal Athlete Training Center, www.primalatc.com. Actually in the hallway of the gym right now because we have some kids in there training. It's getting a little bit loud, so I had to step outside because over the past 2 hours I have actually received about 5 very similar emails, and when I went back through my phone and counted, it was actually 11 emails this week. It's only Tuesday. 11 emails this week that were all asking the same type of question. And that question is usually has to deal with, Coach Matt, I've been throwing with the full discus technique for, 2 weeks. Watch this video. What do you think I should work on? Coach Matt, I've been doing the rotational shot now for 3 days. I used to be a glider. Take a look at this video. What do you think I should improve upon? I get questions like this all the time, but it seems like maybe it's because school's going to be starting up pretty soon. I have been getting a lot of questions with brand new throwers that are doing full technique and wondering what they should improve upon. Well, my answer is the same, and that's why I wanted to do a video about this. My answer is going to be the same for all beginner throwers, and that is, if you've only been throwing for a couple of weeks, or if you've only been throwing for a couple of days, you should not be doing the full technique. And the reason for this is because you need to teach yourself how to properly do the full technique in stages using drills and using parts of the throw. So if you basically are going from doing a couple of standing throws in practice and then turning around and doing the full technique out of the back, the full rotation, whether it's discus or shot, you're doing yourself a really big disservice. You need to teach yourself how to move through the circle first. And then once you teach yourself how to move through the circle, then you can piece everything together. You can piece all the drills together. You can piece all the different parts of the throws together and then work on your full technique. And what this reminds me of are the coaches out there, and you know who you are, the coaches out there that do not teach their athletes how to throw. All they try to do is correct bad technique. And we see this all the time where a coach will get in the circle the first day of practice or will show their athletes videos the first day of practice and they'll say, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. Now you get in the circle and try. And for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, all you hear that coach doing is trying to correct. Well, you did this wrong. Now do it this way. You did that wrong. Do it this way. You did that wrong. It's supposed to look like this. Okay, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong. Okay, you did that wrong, you did this wrong, let's do this, do it that way, do it this way, do it that way. That is not how people learn. That is not how athletes learn. Okay? What you need to do is teach the technique. Don't just try to correct technique along the way, because what happens is when you correct one piece of the technique, it's going to have a butterfly effect, and it's going to affect everything else that you do in that circle. So if you correct something coming out of the back of the circle, it's going to mess up, or it's going to make an issue with the middle of the circle. It's going to make an issue with the ending of the throw, with your release. It's going to affect everything. Literally, when you fix one thing, you break 2 more. And then you fix one of those and you break 2 more. And you fix one of those and you break 2 more. And back and forth and back and forth. And all you end up doing is correcting your athletes and telling them that they're doing it wrong. Instead, as a coach and as new throwers, don't just do the full technique and then try to go back and correct. What you should do is learn the technique step by step, working all the way from the release, step by step, in stages, all the way back into the full technique. Now, this is not going to take 2 days. This is not going to take 2 weeks. This is not going to take 2 months. More than likely, this is going to take 2 years to try to learn this technique. So please, if you're out there and you've only been doing the full technique for, 2 days, 3 days, a week, don't do the full technique anymore. Teach yourself. Teach yourself the different positions in the circle. If you're a coach, take your athletes outside the circle and teach them the different progressions. Don't just throw them in there, have them do the full technique, and then try to correct and tell them that they're doing it wrong. No kidding, they're doing it wrong. You haven't showed them yet how to do it right. So teach yourself. Make sure. For the athletes out there that are teaching themselves, do it in stages. For the coaches out there that are teaching brand new athletes how it's done, teach them in stages. It's going to take a little bit longer on the front, but it's going to have them throwing further and throwing with proper technique a lot earlier in their career, a lot earlier in their high school or college seasons, and you won't be having to correct and not see any results. Teach them the right way, teach them using drills, and you're going to see much further throws much earlier in the season, and it's going to be a heck of a lot less frustrating when you do eventually have to go back in and try to fix things. All right, guys, Coach Matt, going to go back in the gym now and train some more of my athletes. Any other questions, please let me know, and I will talk to you soon.